check one thing out, Luca, while I have time. Well, wait, hold on. I may run out of time. some point it's Lucas' life, right? You know?
There's some opening ones. He's gonna
That's nice. This, my son's next level up in hockey this year. Now my daughter wants to play hockey. She's never played it before. So there went money on equipment. I leased skates for $100. And I already have the skate. Wednesday, 180 for the breezer and 150 for the chest protector and like 110 for the shin guards and 90 for the elbow pads, 80 for the gloves. And gotta have a helmet. We already have a helmet. You gotta get a face mask and a helmet. Yeah. I think all told, she was $1,060. The thing is, I mean, you know, so if she plays for 4 years, right? It's $250 a year because it will fit her the whole time. It's adjustable, right? Yeah. I saw your boys got upset again in the playoffs, right? South Border came up and beat them. They were a 6 seed and got upset.
That's what all of them are. We're supposed to beat them on one side and the other side.
run this house. Remember how to do this? Remember how to like zoom in and out and stuff? Remember how to move your hand back and forth? Okay, just making sure. We didn't spend enough time in Raw Hall this summer. We were only there a couple of times. What's that? We enjoyed our time up there. And a timeout has been taken by Grand Forks Central. The Knights now trail 12-7.
I can have Tannerite shipped to my doorstep.
Are you planning on a terrorist attack? Exploding ammo? And this is why we have terrorist attacks. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and the bullets don't go off till you shoot them. I mean, you know. Okay, well, we better mute this.
Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front. DeZiel with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon. The high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you tonight to Central High School as we get set for the close of our volleyball video streaming that we have for this year, along with the close of regular season action for us before it's time to go into tournament play. As tonight, Grand Forks Central will be at home for Parents' Night, and they're going to take on the Fargo South Bruins here on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports tonight. We're glad to have you along with us from Central High School downtown in Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. Luca Carpenter is back in the fold as our videographer here tonight. It's good to get back with Luca as we have our final video presentation that we'll have for the fall, barring something that would be unforeseen right now. The football teams in Grand Forks both picked up road assignments in the opening round of the playoffs, and so tonight, going to do it for our video coverage. It will not do it for our radio coverage. We're planning on being in Devils Lake coming up on Friday night for Central at Devils Lake on the radio side of things, and we thank you for joining us tonight as well on the radio side of our event here this evening on KNOX Radio. If you're looking to pull in video coverage of this one tonight, you can certainly do so by going to our website, knoxradio.com. Look underneath the Connect tab. You'll find go to the Sports tab, my apologies, and click on the live sports link. You'll be able to do it there. And also, you can do a search for our YouTube channel. And when you find our YouTube channel, when you go to YouTube, just do a search for KNOX TV. And when you find KNOX TV, that's what you're looking for at that point, and you'll be able to be involved with all of our broadcasts. You'll want to follow that channel so that you can keep up with us. Well, we go to the end of the regular season, and it will take something big for Grand Forks Central to try to grab a home play-in game, because right now Grand Forks Central, Grand Forks Red River trying to hold on to their positioning, Central trying to move up in their positioning, and Grand Forks Red River trying to hold on to its positioning, as it hasn't been a great season for really either of these teams in Grand Forks. Coming into the night, Grand Forks Red River is 2-11. They're 10-16 overall, but 2-11 inside the conference. That's Red River. Central 5-22. They're 1-11 inside the league. The last time we were here, they had the 5-setter that went the distance with Fargo North, where they picked up a win. That was their lone win inside the conference. Now, Fargo South is currently 3-10, and that means they're currently a game ahead of Red River for the spot that gets out of the play-in game. The way the EDC is going to work this year, we have 9 teams. Red River and Central right now are 8-9. Red River would host Central in the opening round of the Eastern Dakota Conference Tournament, which would be the play-in round. And there's just not a lot of matches left to go. Red River's going to finish up with 3 really tough opponents: at West Fargo tonight, at Shanley on Thursday, at Horace on Tuesday the 4th. And that means that a 3-game road string for Red River to try to win and catch Fargo South in that situation, and to see if they can, force some tiebreakers and do some interesting things. That would be what Red River would have in mind. For Grand Forks Central, they're going to finish up with this one at home, and then off to Horace for 2 points in the league, and off to Shanley. So after tonight, all the teams in Grand Forks in volleyball are going on the road. And so what's left to play for? Finding your best stride when it comes down to volleyball, and of course getting ready for that big one-and-done play-in matchup that Central and Red River seem to be on a collision course to have against one another down in Midtown when they would play coming up at the end of the regular season and into the beginning of the postseason. So that's what we have in store for you tonight. South at 3-10, just trying to stay above the fold, keep themselves out of the play-in situation, maybe improve their standing in the Eastern Dakota Conference. And for Grand Forks Central, just trying to put together their best volleyball before they get to the end of the regular season. We bring it to you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You can find them online at rivards.com. All of their products are mixed and matched right here in Grand Forks. You have science on your side. You have reputation for delivery on your side with Rivard's Turf and Forage. They take care of their mixing at their plant in Grand Forks, and they've got the seed varieties that you're looking for, along with changing up their formulas for the growing conditions. Rivards.com. Grand Trailer Sales, they're your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. Whether it's a new trailer or fixing up your current trailer, the service and the parts that you're looking for, they have it for you at Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks on Highway 2. Big Greenway fans, the Greenway volleyball team involved in a big one tonight. They take on, folks, they take on Wadena Deer Creek tonight. That's a 7 playing a 6 in the semifinals of the 8AA volleyball tournament, trying to make their way into a section championship match. So the Green Wave, go Green Wave. We don't have the opportunity to bring video of that one, but should there be a Saturday matchup, we believe we'll have radio coverage of that event between East Grand Forks and their eventual opponent in the Section 8 AA championship matchup. But tonight they have to get past Wadena Deer Creek, and we'll be following that score rather closely. We're going to take a break in our pregame report. Our pregame show brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And our pregame report brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations all throughout the Red River Valley, so do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school volleyball. It's Central and South tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports at KNOX Radio. We're back with more in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto at Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. This evening, we are live downtown in Grand Forks at Central High School, where we get set for our matchup this evening featuring the Grand Forks Central Knights and the Fargo South Bruins in Eastern Dakota Conference Volleyball. Our pregame report this evening brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. They can put your logo to work for you with some custom etching of materials that you wouldn't know you could put on a lot of apparel. It would be a really interesting way to go about getting your logo to get things done the right way. And what we're talking about is wood, plastic, metal that can all be etched and affixed to any type of apparel that you're looking for to make your logo pop. They have screen printing, they have custom embroidery, vinyl signage as well. Signature Graphics and Apparel, they're just off the point in East Grand Forks. And our pregame report tonight brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley to serve you. They're ready to take care of all your service and sales. They've got the John Deere products that you've come to know and love traditionally at True North Equipment, true to your values, and ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley. Well, let's tell you what's going on tonight as we get ready for Drive for the Title. We'll show you the standings that we have here in tonight's matchup and what this one means this evening. And for those of you that are on the video side of things tonight, you can see that Red River and Central, they're at the bottom of your screen. Red River's 2-11, Central is 1-11. Now that will even out because Central technically has 4 matches left, even though it's only 3. Their matchup with West Fargo Horace is going to be worth 2 points in the league. So right now, Central would have a game in hand, if you will, but that evens out after they play West Fargo Horace coming up next week. Red River with 2 wins, both over Central this year. Central's got a win over Fargo North this season, and that's where this lies right now. So season ends today. Red River hosts Central in a play-in. The winner moves on to the tournament to take on a very good Fargo Davies team. And the way the standings shake up, for those of you on the radio side of things, Davies is 12-1. Cheyenne is 10-3. Horace 9-4. West Fargo 8-3. Those 4 teams, Davies, Cheyenne, Horace, West Fargo, they've all separated themselves pretty well as far as standout teams in the league. Shanley's try to hang with them, and then North, South, Red River, Central, we've been kind of in that bottom half of the bracket this year, trying to maneuver our way through positioning. Keep in mind, Central's lone win came over Fargo North, who's got 4 wins on the season inside the conference. I mean, that was a fairly good win for Grand Forks Central. If they can put together a couple of efforts like that, they'd be the type of team that could step up in an EDC tournament, perhaps upset a 5 seed and hang around until day 3, something along those lines. You never take any match away, so you're going against the number 1 seed with something to win as well. There's all that going on there, right? Okay, so you got that, but you know, in the long run, you've got to find a way to get there, and right now it's just about playing your best volleyball, and that's what we're going to try tonight against the Fargo South Bruins. And there are the Bruins at 3-10. They're trying to stay out of the play-in situation, and they know that if this one were to not go their way tonight, the last couple of weeks of the regular season could be a little bit of a toss-up as to whether or not they're hosting a play-in or going right to the EDC tournament. So for the Bruins, there's a lot to play for tonight. Your schedule tonight, Shanley's at Cheyenne, Red River's on the road at West Fargo, Davies is at Fargo North, and tonight we've got South and Central here at Central High School downtown in Grand Forks. Let's Drive for the Title tonight as we continue along with our pregame show, brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. More as we continue on our pregame report coming up next. When we continue, we'll take a look at the players to watch in this one coming up tonight. There are some very good players on the floor on both sides of the net this evening, but a couple of absolute offensive standouts for Fargo South, and one having a great all-conference season for Grand Forks Central. That's coming up as we continue our pregame report here at Central High School. It's the Knights and the Bruins in Eastern Dakota Conference Volleyball tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more in a moment.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports tonight downtown in Grand Forks at Central High School. It's the Knights and the Bruins of Fargo South tonight as we continue our coverage of high school sports once again on our Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Our pregame report this evening is brought to you by our friends at True North Equipment, true to your values, and ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley, and also brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. Let's take a look at the players that we have to watch in this one tonight that will make big impacts with our game tools presented tonight by Logan Karski, your new State Farm Insurance representative in Grand Forks. Logan Karski been coaching with the Red River Rough Rider football team. He comes to Grand Forks from Dickinson and a tradition of athletics with Dickinson Trinity. It's been fun to get to know Logan throughout the course of the year. Now he's ready to get to know you and put together a game plan to protect what it is of yours that needs protecting. Home, auto, life, health, business. He has you covered the way you need to be covered at State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Logan Karski, your State Farm Insurance representative in Grand Forks, bringing you our game tools tonight. Well, you can see for Grand Forks Central, for those of you that are with us on the video side of things tonight, that J.C. Reardon has had an unbelievable year. 222 kills. She also has 47 blocks coming into tonight, and those 47 blocks, now they count blocks differently at the high school level. When you have a block assist in college, it counts as a block. When you have a block assist in high school, it counts as a half a block. I count them up like they would do at the college level, and J.C. Reardon, 222 kills, 47 blocks, getting ready to go play basketball for the University of North Dakota, but she has had a tremendous season, and if Grand Forks Central was more successful, she'd definitely be in the conversation for an all-conference award. Let's hope that that conversation happens for her, even though the win-loss record isn't there for this Central team. 9 seniors that are celebrating senior night tonight for Grand Forks Central. That's a big part of the story that we have tonight. Rowan Olmstead, Piper Severson, Sydney Tollefson, Violet Sparts, Avery Sparts, Brooklyn Strom, J.C. Reardon, Hallie Kohlmeyer, Julia Bybee, all seniors on this team. Marley Euler, 166 kills. Sydney Tollefson, when we've seen her, she's been good in spots. That's a position where Central has to find some consistency with her making some plays. They can step up and be a little bit more dangerous. For Fargo South, Abby Bockel has been fantastic. 335 kills on the season. She has just 18 blocks, but here's the thing about Bockel that stands out. 278 digs to go with 335 kills, and that's an all-around player, definitely an all-conference type of player there as well. Talon Hofford, 254 kills and 31 blocks coming into tonight. And they have another blocking option with Marissa Agremont, 84 kills, 27 blocks. The difference between South and Central tonight, South has more offensive weaponry. They've got more of those mid-range type of players. Evelyn Kvistad with 71 kills, Natalie Schultz with 70 kills. Those are numbers in those second players once you get past J.C. Reardon and Marley Euler that Central hasn't been able to replicate. That doesn't mean they can't. It just means they haven't been able to do it so far this year. And that's what stands out on paper as the difference between these two teams coming tonight. There are more weapons for South, but Abby Bockel, Talon Hofford, they've raked it up as far as numbers this year, and J.C. Reardon is certainly an all-conference type of player coming into this one tonight. Those are your game tools, and they're brought to you by Logan Karski, your State Farm insurance representative in Grand Forks. Remember, he's ready to put together a game plan for everything that needs protecting that you have around your home, family, and life. We'll come back with more as we continue on our pregame report in a couple of moments. We'll take a look at the keys to the game for both teams coming up tonight. Brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. And we get ready for the start of Parents' Night tonight between Central and South this evening downtown at Central High School. It's the Knights and the Bruins. We continue our coverage coming up next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to GrandForksWelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening. We are at Grand Forks Central High School, downtown Grand Forks. Tonight, it's high school volleyball. Fargo South and Grand Forks Central. The Bruins travel to Grand Forks to take on the Knights tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Our pregame report continues this evening. Pregame show brought to you tonight by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. True North Equipment and also Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life. It's Signature Graphics and Apparel. Let's take a look at our keys for the game this evening. And our keys for the game are brought to you tonight by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Let's start with the Fargo South Bruins tonight. And our keys for the game for the Fargo South Bruins. Tonight, the Bruins want to find a block in the middle. That's going to be where Grand Forks Central can hurt a team the most. Not taking anything away from Marley Euler on the outside, but Central kind of goes and stops where J.C. Reardon is. So finding a block to try to turn that middle away is going to be a big one. And then using the pins for Fargo South. They're going to have some balance up there at the net. So being able to move the ball back and forth across the net, preventing anything of J.C. Reardon getting into a big blocking night against you. Using those pins will be a big part of this tonight for Fargo South to be able to get back and forth to where they want to go in this one tonight. Those are the keys to the game tonight for the Fargo South Bruins. And now, the keys for the game tonight for the Grand Forks Central Knights this evening. For the Knights, you're going to want to use that middle. If you can get there, confront whatever block comes up from Fargo South and have success against it, that's going to be the thing that will get them going offensively tonight. The more resources South has to commit to J.C. Reardon, the more success you can have elsewhere. And then a block of their own. JC's going to have to chase things around when she's in the front row tonight, because there will be multiple balls from multiple positions, and she's going to be a big part of blocking them all. So moving laterally for her and then double teaming with her to form up a block. And there are some blockers up there that can get some things done. Sydney Tollefson with 33 blocks on the season, and Alexandra Gowan, just a freshman who's got some spot time this year, has rolled up 9 blocks in just a little bit of time. So there are some players that can double team with her, with of course we're talking about J.C. Reardon to try to form that block. And those are the keys to the game. They're brought to you tonight by Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. Any stick, any pad, the skates, precision skate sharpening. They have tremendous service. I was just there with my daughter to get her going in the sport of hockey. She's come to hockey late, but they treated her extremely well, and they gave her the personal service that she wanted to feel comfortable in the equipment that she needs. They take care of you, and they take care of hockey players and players of all sports at Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. That's going to take us to the final break that we have for tonight. We are going to come back and take a look at our starting lineups and get ready for volleyball this evening between the Knights and the Bruins. It's Parents' Night here at Grand Forks Central, and I'm sure they'll be acknowledging the seniors. Maybe not Parents' Night, but rather Senior Night here for Grand Forks Central, and all those seniors are lining up to say a word, so we'll probably have a bit of a delay before we get to our national anthem here this evening. However, the seniors are lining up, and we're getting ready for what should be a very fun run for those seniors being escorted out with their parents. Actually, this may just be straight up Parents' Night. Let's take a look at that roster. No, it does look like the seniors are coming out with their parents tonight, and those of you that are on the video side of things, you can see that, but there will be some messages that will be delivered to those seniors by some of the underclassmen tonight. That's what's going on at this point. So, Senior Night here tonight at Grand Forks Central. We're going to have more from this matchup coming up here in just a couple of moments. We'll take our final break and our pregame report. And our pregame report again this evening is brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley, and brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Blue Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our number one.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports tonight. It is senior night for the Grand Forks Central Knights, and so that is going to bring us to just a little bit of a delay this evening because there's a lot of seniors tonight. As we mentioned, for Grand Forks Central, 9 seniors that are on this team, and obviously some heartfelt words are being shared by all the competitors. Just a reminder for you here before we take an extra break here in our pregame report to allow for these messages to go on and come back with our starting lineups. We are anticipating having coverage of football coming up on Friday night. We have asked for the opportunity to go to Devils Lake and take in the matchup between Devils Lake and Grand Forks Central as it regards to the radio side of things. Now, we cannot go and take care of video. They've got a different arrangement at Devils Lake, and so we are unable to go on the road and take care of video with that matchup. But hopefully on the radio side, we'll be able to take care of you as Grand Forks Central will go on the road to take on Devils Lake. In the next football matchup, Central gets the 3 seed. They go to Devils Lake, and Grand Forks Red River gets the 4 seed. They will go to Minot North coming up on Friday night. Stay tuned for further broadcast details as we get closer with our broadcast coverage and plans that we have coming up for Friday night. So we'll be with you on that, and hopefully we'll have a good game for you coming up on Friday night to take in. All right, we're going to take another break. This is an extended break in our pregame report as we continue with the senior presentation that we have for this evening for Fargo South. So stay, or I should say rather, for Grand Forks Central as they get ready to take on Fargo South. So stay with us more as we continue our volleyball coverage. We're getting ready for starting lineups in volleyball in just a couple of moments. But stay with us through another break on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto at Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for 2.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap, rap. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Grand Forks Central High School. The presentation for the seniors for Grand Forks Central has come to a conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our national anthem. Well, we had the senior girls, I think, taking care of the national anthem this evening for Grand Forks Central. I mean, why not make it a full-on senior night, right? You've got half a choir just to yourself if you've got 9 girls that are going to be out there and be seniors for this team. So Grand Forks Central has celebrated their seniors well this evening. Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Tonight, Fargo South coming to the matchup, record of 3-10 inside the Eastern Dakota Conference, in Grand Forks Central, a 1-11 matchup for Fargo South. Grand Forks Central 1-11 inside the league. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's matchup. And our starters this evening are brought to you by Forks Fence, powered by Greenworks Landscaping tonight. The libero for Fargo South, the visitors, Ruby Holly, a 5'6 sophomore. The setter tonight, Nora Balbich, a 5'6 sophomore as well. On the right side tonight will be Evelyn Quislin. She's a 5'9 junior. The outside hitters are Nasiela Chelland, a 5'5 sophomore, and Abby Bockel, a 5'10 senior. And the middles are Talon Hoffert, a 5'10 senior, and Marissa Egermont, a 6'1 sophomore. Peyton Wakeleitner is the head coach of the Fargo South Bruins, and you can hear there's enough sophomore talent in there for Fargo South to where they're looking to make some steps going forward in the future, along with what they can get done coming up here tonight. Now for the Grand Forks Central Knights, their libero is Piper Severson, a 5'5 senior. The setter is Rowan Olmstead, a 5'4 senior. Right side, Sydney Tollefson, a 5'8 senior. Defensive specialist tonight will be Hallie Kohlmeyer, a 5'6 senior. The outside hitters, Julia Bybee, a 5'4 senior, and Marley Euler, a 5'7 junior, and J.C. Reardon, a 5'11 senior, will get the start as the middle tonight for Grand Forks Central. Darwin Kasparitz is the head coach of Grand Forks Central, assisted by Lexi Stein. The Knights will be on our right, and the Bruins will be on our left. The Bruins will be in gold this evening, their libero in brown, and Grand Forks Central will be in white with their libero in maroon this evening. So here we go. Final match at home this season for Grand Forks Central. Then it's on the road. This is the final volleyball match for either of the Grand Forks teams at home this year. Parents' night, senior night tonight for Grand Forks Central, and then everything else is on the road to end the regular season. Now, there will likely be one more match at home in Grand Forks this year in the postseason. That would be the play-in matchup, and again, if the season ended today, Grand Forks Central would host that. Boy, by time frame here, you'd think this is a Class B game. We're going to get going about 7:40 tonight. We were scheduled for a 7 o'clock first serve, and it's not just the senior festivities that dragged that out. We had a JV matchup that went 3 sets tonight, and sometimes I feel like they should probably schedule their sub-varsity games about 15 minutes earlier to see if we can keep things on track, because we routinely fall behind when it comes down to our start times in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Nora Balbich is going to serve for Fargo South, and we'll get ready to go. The Knights have entered Piper Severson in the back row as their libero. Balvich will serve, and we're underway as Severson makes the pass. This will come towards the near side, and Marley Euler swinging away from the outside. Fargo South able to send it back. They'll send it back from the back row, back to Euler. Another chance from the outside. Dug up by Abby Bockel, who makes her start in the back row for the Bruins, and Bockel sends one over on a free ball. Back to the middle, and the attack will be down for Grand Forks Central's Alexandra Gowan. Gowan comes up with her first kill tonight. Interestingly enough, on this first rotation, J.C. Reardon was not on the floor. Now she comes out there. Obviously, it matters if you're receiving serve or if you've got the serve to get started. Gowan with the kill. 1-0 in favor of the Knights. And as we mentioned, Alexandra Gowan has come on throughout the course of the year. Tough pass by Bockel here for Fargo South, and Balvich will have to send it over on a free ball. A step up for Severson, comes to the outside for J.C. Reardon, and Reardon has a kill. Reardon with her first kill tonight. Knights take a 2-0 lead. Knights swinging from right to left, and the Bruins from left to right this evening. And Marley Euler will step back to serve for Grand Forks Central. Ruby Holly makes an errant pass. That'll be an ace for Euler. Just an error in receiving. It didn't look like that was going to be something that Ruby Holly would struggle with. 470 digs on the season for Holly for Fargo South, but she cannot receive that serve, and it's quickly 3-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central. Serve on the way, shortens up. Holly can't get to it. That's an ace again for Marley Euler. Euler takes something off the serve this time, and it ends up falling on the Fargo South side of the floor. And so we're at 4-0 in favor of the Knights. Serve on the way from Euler again. Holly this time makes the right pass up the middle. They'll find Talon Hofford. It's sent back over on first contact. Blocked across by the Bruins. Central up with it. A tip coming off the near side from Reardon. This will work back over to the outside for Fargo South. And Missiela Chellin sent it back over. Reardon swinging again from the outside. South can't get to it. That'll be down for the Grand Forks Central Knights, and they take a 5-0 lead here in the opening frame. So Grand Forks Central with a quick 5-0 advantage here in the opening set of the contest. And Central will serve again. Holly stepping back to make the pass, got to it, Chellin into the net. 6-0 Central. Bruin head coach Peyton Wegleitner up on the bench across the way. No move as of yet to make a timeout out of it, but 6 straight points have been rattled off by Grand Forks Central, including a side out to start the match, and now 5 in a row. And Marley Euler will step back to serve again for Grand Forks Central. Euler's serve is a hard line drive. Holly can't handle it. It's another ace. 3 aces for Marley Euler. Timeout going to be taken by Peyton Wegleitner. Central's into Fargo South early. 7-0 Knights on the on the All-True scoreboard. We have a timeout for Apex Apparel and also a timeout for Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school volleyball. We're back with more next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball. Grand Forks Central leading Fargo South 7-0, ripping off 6 straight with serve after picking up a side out, and quickly out to the right side for Fargo South. Marissa Egermont will pick up her first kill of the night, and South gets one back. It's 7-1. As Fargo South takes the timeout to slow down Grand Forks Central, they work to their right pin and come up with the right combination. Ruby Holly will serve for Fargo South to continue play. The first point of the night coming for Fargo South. Reardon powering through a block and scoring. J.C. Reardon from the outside. She has not yet played middle. That's a nice wrinkle here for Darwin Kasparitz when you don't have a ton of pins to throw at the net and try to balance it that way, you hide where J.C. Reardon's going to send the ball at you from. And she's been attacking solely from the outside so far tonight. Piper Severson serving. This comes back to Chellen for South, but she has to save it. This will be set back to the middle. A tip that's going to just about score. Got through for Sydney Tollison. A dive from Chellen kept it afloat. Reardon again from the outside, strong. Point will go to Fargo South. Side out for the Bruins. And they're back within 6 by a score of 8-2. South will send Talon Hoffert back through the serving. Now we'll see the first rotation through the front row for Abby Bockel, their leader in hitting. We'll see if that changes their offense a bit. Reardon from the middle is down. J.C. Reardon with her 3rd kill tonight. And the Knights bring her back to the middle after starting things off from the outside so far tonight. They got a couple of good swings from J.C. Reardon from the outside before they even move her to the middle once. And now the Bruins going to make a change in their back row, as South will send into the matchup Sylvia Barnacle, a 5'3" freshman, as a defensive specialist. Barnacle dives at a serve, sent it back over on a free ball. Reardon blocks it, and Grand Forks Central takes a 10-2 first set lead. It looks like a rather sluggish start for Fargo South. They have not moved particularly well here tonight. Central's had a little bit more of a role. Brooklyn Strom is into set, and she's serving for the Knights. To the right side, Chellen for Fargo South, and one of the Knights is in the net. You're going to get J.C. Reardon for net contact. So an error against Grand Forks Central will send a point back to Fargo South. And the Knights lead by 7 here in the opening set. Chellen will step back to serve for the Bruins. Serve on the way and taken by Piper Severson out of the back row. Up front, Reardon down the middle. Chellen was there to dig that one up. To Bockel, trying to push line on the far side. Central looking to save it into a joust. A tip by Reardon to get over contact. Bockel from the outside is touched. And Grand Forks Central will keep control of it. Hallie Kohlmeyer has to free ball this over. Bockel tries to tip on first contact. Now Kohlmeyer will swing from the outside. Chellen runs it down for the Bruins. Up front, going to the left hand for Natalie Schultz to send it over. Back near side, Kohlmeyer is into the net. Point will go to Fargo South. Central tries to come back to the outside, and they end up committing the attack error as Kohlmeyer can't get up and over. Chellen will go back to serve. It's 10-4. Fargo South has cut the lead to 6. Chellen serving again. Back row picked up by Euler on the pass. Severson will free ball this across. Ruby Holly steps into the pass. Up front, Bockel defeats a block and scores. Abby Bockel has her first kill tonight. They were hungry for that. That's just the 2nd kill so far for Fargo South. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to really swing the ball well. That rotation of aces that were served by Marley Euler, passes just didn't get where they needed to go. Chellen serving again. This time it's Severson struggling to pass, and it's an ace for Chellen. Marcella Chellen comes up with an ace for Fargo South. And the Bruins have quickly cut the lead to 4. It's 10-6 on the all-true scoreboard. Now in favor of Grand Forks Central after starting off with a 7-0 lead. Lead down to 4. Reardon standing and swinging from the outside. Bockel from the outside. And a long deflection up into the rafters. Central can't find it. Bockel will score again. Abby Bockel with her 2nd kill. And the big Knight lead has dwindled to 3 here in the opening set. 10-7 on that all-true scoreboard. And Marcella Chellen will step back in and serve for Fargo South. Severson turning into the pass. Strom will set Reardon, who gets blocked. That's back down. Reardon into a block up front. Natalie Schultz was there. 30 blocks on the season for Schultz. She comes up with a big one there. She's not, again, one of the top-end performers, but Natalie Schultz, a junior at 5'10", she's got the physical tools up front, long frame, 70 kills, 20 blocks, gets one there. It's another one of those extra weapons that South has to throw at Central tonight. Strom trying to set with her back to the net. Euler will send it over on a free ball. Up front, now a little push from Schultz. Central able to dig that up. Kohlmeyer tipping towards the middle. A dive kept it afloat from Barnacle and back to Bockel, who gets off the net. Severson was able to dig that up. It came back over. Back to the middle again. Schultz swinging with that left hand. Severson dug it right side, taken by Sydney Tollefson, and they'll say it's wide. And a timeout will be taken by Grand Forks Central as the Knights lead is down to 1. We have a timeout on the floor here at Central High School. Your score on the All-True scoreboard. The Bruins trailing by 1, 10-9 after trailing by 7 earlier. Timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. We're back with more next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Grand Forks Central started off with a huge lead, and the Bruins have battled back. And it's now just a 1-point first set as Chelland will serve out of the Grand Forks Central timeout. Each team has used one. Reardon up front, pushing deep. Holly just trying to keep it afloat, got a piece of it. They can't save the free ball. Central will score onto their timeout. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Big Jim's Tire is ready for you if you have breakdowns or issues with tires throughout the harvest season. They'll come to you to keep you rolling. And our timeouts brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. Apex Apparel and Promotions bringing you our timeouts tonight. Bockel will swing and score. Abby Bockel with her 3rd kill for Fargo South as the Bruins go back to their outside. Bockel, after she got into the front row, became pretty efficient, and she is their leader. 335 kills, but also a good back row player, 278 digs. She's now right front, which means that this will be her final rotation in the front row for Fargo South, and they lead, or rather trail by 1 by a score of 11-10. Piper Severson passing for Central. Tollefson sending one over. Chelland dug it up. It's tipped across. Balvich on second contact. Back up front, Marley Euler attacking sideline, misses it, and we're tied. Balvich with 605 assists this season for South. They play a 5-1. So Balvich will have front row rotations, whereas Central will go 6-2. Rowan Olmstead, the setter to start, 248 assists on the year. And then Brooklyn Strom, 220 assists, comes in to do the second set of setting on the night. Central tipping one over again. Bockel again from the outside. Central got a dig on it in the back row. A dive for Julia Bybee to keep it afloat. Euler has to send it over on a free ball. They set middle, and the attack goes long from Fargo South's Monica Egermont. Egermont, the sophomore, swinging away down the middle, ends up pushing it long. And the Knights lead once again, 12-11 in favor of Grand Forks Central. And the Knights will serve. Serve comes from from Sydney Tollefson. This will go back to Bockel from the outside, and that one's on the near sideline. Bockel with another kill. That will give her 4 on the night. Dead even at 12 apiece here in the all-true scoreboard. This will put Bockel in the back row. So Central caught Fargo South with Bockel in the back row to start the opening set. We'll see if they can find some more success with Bockel in the back row again. Strom setting. Euler pushing. A step up by Talon Hoffert to get to this. Hoffert now in the front row with Bockel going to the back row. They'll play opposites. Back to the near side. Euler powering through a block and scoring. First kill tonight for Marley Euler to go with 3 aces that she had earlier. Central leading by a score of 13-12. And the Knights will send Hallie Kohlmeyer beyond the back line to do the serving. 1-point lead for Central in the opening set after 25 rallies. Holly steps into the pass. Far side, Hoffert got through traffic and scores. Talon Hoffert ties it up at 13 apiece. Our coverage tonight brought to you in part by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR. PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. They can service any make and model of garage door. 772-DOOR, Grand Forks and Devils Lake. Kohlmeyer making a pass. Euler into the net. Maybe blocked, maybe 4 contacts. They're going to rule block on the play, I believe, and Talon Hoffert will get credit for it. 31 blocks on the year for Hoffert. And Fargo South, after trailing by 7 to start the matchup, now has their first lead tonight. They take a 14-13 edge over Grand Forks Central here in the opening set. Serve on the way again, down. It's an ace for Nora Balvich. The middle a little open, a dive by Piper Severson. Balvich put pretty good sting on that ball and got it to break to the middle of the floor. And the lead is now 15-13. Grand Forks Central trailing by 2 after leading 7-0 to start the matchup tonight. Another serve from Balvich that's passed near the net, turns into a joust. Another block up front for Talon Hoffert, her second block tonight. Now it's Central falling behind. 3-point lead for Fargo South at 16-13. What a turnaround since 7-0, 16-6. Fargo South with the advantage. Severson having to save a free ball. This will be set middle. Hoffert tipping, found room to work with on the far side of the floor. They'll work back to the outside. Euler for Central pushes across. Back to Chellen from the south outside. Kohlmeyer can't get to it, and Chellen will get a kill. Marcella Chellen, 62 kills on the season coming into tonight. This going on with J.C. Reardon on the bench right now. Her position is in the back row. Things started pretty well with Reardon going through the front row, but right now Central's caught in a rotation that they can't seem to get out of. Severson makes a pass. Long run for Olmsted to get to it. Euler tips to the middle and Holly was there. Chellen will tip from the outside for South. A dive kept it afloat, stays on the attack line. Kohlmeyer will send it over, free ball for Grand Forks Central. To the right, the attack comes from Monica Egermont for the Bruins. Second contact try. Olmsted tipping to the middle will score. Rowan Olmsted, the setter, tipping in the back row, so she's got to make a lot of contact with that from the attack line to get it over, but did, and got it over on a good line anyway. J.C. Reardon returns for Grand Forks Central. The Knights are back within 3 at 17-14. Euler serving. Tough pass here from South. Chellen can't save it. Point will go to the Knights. Boy, it's been kind of one and done tonight. If you don't get a good pass out of this, neither team has really shown the ability to sort of scurry and save a broken play, so it's dependent upon serve receive so far tonight. Euler sending one over again. This time taken back row by Bockel from the right. Egermont dug up by Severson, and Olmsted tips on second contact. Somehow South saved that. Balvich got to it and kept it off the floor. Olmsted sets middle. Reardon will score. J.C. Reardon with 4. Welcome back to the matchup, J.C. Reardon. Knights back within 1, 17-16 the opening set. For those of you that just joined us, they started off 7-0 Grand Forks Central, and the Bruins of Fargo South came rolling back with a 16-6 run, took a 4-point lead of their own. Central right now trying to cut it. They're back within 1. Serve from Euler, short to the middle. Holly had to dive to cover it. Chellen from the outside, sending over. A step up by Euler passing. Reardon got off the net, missed it wide. No contact from South, and the Bruins will take an 18-16 lead. Ruby Holly will step back to do the serving now for the Bruins. So Holly stands ready. Serve on the way to the far side of the floor. Hallie Kohlmeyer steps into the pass. Reardon up front attacking. Bockel got her hands on it and sent it all the way back on a line drive from the back row. A swing off the right side for Alexandra Gowan for the Knights. Now back to J.C. Reardon from the outside. Holly kept that afloat. Chellen from the outside for South. Severson got to cover the middle. Reardon from the outside, tipping over contact. Holly makes second contact set. Bockel with the back row attack, and Severson sent that all the way back over for the Knights. Chellen skying high and kills. Boy, that's a good jump from Marcella Chellen. Undersized in that outside position as Chellen comes in at just 5 feet 5 inches tall and a sophomore, but got some great elevation and found an angle to work with. And the Bruins take a 19-16 advantage. Holly serving. Kohlmeyer steps into the pass. Rowan Olmsted sends it out to Reardon. A tip to the middle. Chellen ran it down. Long run. Bockel back row. Big attack. Severson passes it back over in a free ball. Holly's there. They set middle. And off the block, Talon Hoffert will score. First kill of the night for Talon Hoffert. But the Bruins get to 20, and it's 20-16 in favor of Fargo South in the opening set. The Knights led 7-0, but the Bruins have come roaring back, and Ruby Holly will serve. Kohlmeyer, tough pass, it's an ace. Ruby Holly comes up with an ace, and it's 21-16. Grand Forks Central now down by 5, and certainly on the back end of some momentum right now. Holly ready to serve again for Fargo South. Marley Euler can't handle it. It's another ace. Another error in serve receive, and another ace, and a timeout will be taken by Grand Forks Central. So the Knights will call for a stoppage. We'll do the same. 22-16 with Grand Forks Central currently trailing in the matchup by a 6-point margin. We've got a timeout on the floor tonight. We're back with more in a couple of moments. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and 4H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Second time out of the set taken by Grand Forks Central. The Knights have fallen behind by 6 after leading by 7. The Knights took the first 7 points of the opening set. They now trail 22-16 as Ruby Holly will step back to serve once again. She's been good tonight for Fargo South from the libero's position. Reardon tipping middle, trying to get to it. Marcella Chellin saves it. Holly calling for the play. Sends one over in a free ball. Euler for Central, back out to Reardon from the outside, she'll score. J.C. Reardon's had a nice night. Reardon with 5 kills, the lead away for Grand Forks Central. And the Knights have cut the lead to 5 at 22-17. Stick around, intermission report coming up. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the opening set here tonight. Central down 5, looking for a big boost, and here's a swing by Talon Hofford on the right side. Hofford with her second kill tonight. 23-17, Talon Hofford finding some offensive success has really loosened things up for Fargo South in the front row, and now Abby Bockel will go back to the front row. Hofford serving. Euler will take it middle of the floor, set to the middle. Tollefson gets off a swing in the middle and scores. Sydney Tollefson knocks down her first kill tonight. Knights back within 5 at 23-18. Needing a big run, though, down by this 5-point margin here in the opening set. Certainly not the way they envisioned this going after the big start tonight. Brooklyn Strom back into set. She'll serve. Tough one that eats up Barnacle in the back row for South, but a push off the far side by Abby Bockel for her 5th kill. Bockel just reading the net, going laterally across it, and no one recovered for Grand Forks Central. No one reacted to cover that front position, and Fargo South has set point in the first set. Marcella Chellin makes a service error. That's the first service error for either team tonight. Knights back within 5 at 24-19, but the unenviable task of having to score 5 straight without being able to side out. That'll be a tough run. Central's going to send Julia Bybee back in for a rotation back row. Off the near side of the floor, a swing by Natalie Schultz. Schultz will put it away using that left hand, that left arm. Schultz from the right side scores, and Grand Forks Central is beaten in the opening set by a score of 25-19. A 7-0 on the All-True scoreboard is your score, with Fargo South taking the opening lead in the matchup tonight. We have a timeout for Apex Apparel and for Big Jim's Tire. Our intermission report tonight is brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. And that intermission report with some highlights from the opening set is coming up next.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Our intermission report brought to you tonight by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Taste in, chemicals out with a system from High Plains Water. You'll drink more tap water with some of the best tasting water you're going to find with one of their systems. You'll have cleaner laundry with less detergent and appliances that last longer, saving you money at High Plains Water. And our intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. If you have a breakdown during this harvest season, broken or twisted shaft, holes that need tightening, they have you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They'll keep you rolling in harvest. Fargo South comes rolling back after trailing 7-0 to start the opening set. They win by a score of 25-19. They get started late with Talon Hofford as we take a look at some of the highlights from the opening set. Talon Hofford swinging middle, reset the offensive scheme a little bit for Fargo South. And then as we move later, a couple of back-to-back aces at a key point for the libero Ruby Holly. You'll see a really good crisp serve here that the Knights just couldn't handle. Serve receive was a problem for both teams, but Central down the stretch. It was J.C. Reardon that tried to power things for Grand Forks Central. Reardon with 5 kills in the opening set. You'll see her from the outside where she did most of her damage here tonight. Those are the highlights that we had from the opening set. But Grand Forks Central trailing by a score of 25-19. Our highlights tonight brought to you by American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency in Grand Forks. So we'll go to the second set, and Marley Euler will serve for Grand Forks Central. Bockel back to make the pass. Chellan from the outside for South tipping middle. Severson was able to dive, keep it afloat. Reardon over traffic. Holly was able to run back and get to that for Fargo South. Back row attack. Bockel got a good running start at it. Central can't come up with a play. And Bockel will have her 6th kill tonight. Bockel with 335 kills this season. Hasn't been a big blocking candidate, but 278 digs. She's been a solid all-around player, and her ability to play defense, as you can see in those back row attacks that she's had, gives her an opportunity for extra offense. It's a good back row attacker they have back there. Joust and a ball blocked down by Talon Hofford. 3rd block tonight for Talon Hofford. And Fargo South will take a 2-0 lead. Again, serve receive, a problem here. And when it's been a problem for both teams, it's really been a problem for both teams. And right now, Central struggling, and Hofford goes up for a block. Holly serving again, hit that one wide. Point will go to Central. We'll go back to that on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And you'll just see serve receive here for Central. It breaks down. They've got a free ball one towards the net, and just no chance for Talon Hofford up front, or no chance to beat her, I should say. Grand Forks Central gives up the point at that point, and now a service error for Grand Forks Central, make it 3-1 Fargo South. So the Bruins take a 2-point lead here in the second set. Bruins on top, a 7-0 with a 25-19 win. in the opening set tonight. Serve on the way from Talon Hoffert. That'll be a service error for the Bruins. 2 now for the Bruins, 1 for Central. But you can see what South is doing, and it's a smart play on the part of head coach Peyton Wigleitner. She's going to have her team serve aggressively, and they might live and die by that. But you've seen tonight when South breaks down, rather when Central breaks down and serve receive, there's a service error by the Knights. When Central breaks down and serve receive, it really becomes a tough equation. And so take the extra aggressive serve with those that can pull it off, move them around a little bit. It's not a bad plan. Marcella Chellin serving for Fargo South. This will come to the outside. Good swing by Sydney Tollefson. South able to dig it up with Holly sending it over. Bockel will tip for the Bruins. This will come back to the middle. Reardon tipping around traffic. Good cover from the back row by Barnacle. From the attack line, Bockel getting through traffic. Severson passed it over. It's sent back down on a block by Natalie Schultz. Now Central tipping and scoring from the near side. Julia Bybee comes up with her first kill tonight. Bybee brings the Knights back to within 1 by a score of 4-3. And Hallie Kohlmeyer will step into the back row as a defensive specialist. Sophie Johnson will come on the floor. 5'3" freshman, defensive specialist for Grand Forks Central. Kohlmeyer serving, it's an ace. Hallie Kohlmeyer, 206 digs in the back row this year for Kohlmeyer. She has been a steady player in the back row this season for Grand Forks Central, and that will tie up the second set at 4 apiece. Opening set goes to Fargo South tonight on the All-True scoreboard, 25-19. Kohlmeyer commits the third service error of the night for Central, puts one into the net, and it's 5-4 South. The Knights led in the opening set 7-0, and then just had something fall apart on them and could not find an angle, particularly when they got stuck with J.C. Reardon on the bench. Her back row rotation, South really dug into that and took at one point a 6-point lead of their own. They ended up winning by 6. Serve coming across and scoring on an ace for Fargo South, and that will be Natalia Chelland, who steps in, senior, 5'8", stepping in to do some serving, and Natalia Chelland comes up with an ace. So the Bruins just feasting right now on an aggressive serve against Grand Forks Central. Chelland serving again, Severson gets to the pass, Strom setting up front, and the tip will come from Marley Euler towards the middle. Bockel from the outside. Severson dove to keep it afloat. Euler tipping. South out of sorts defensively, but they get it back to Bockel, and she hits it long. The point will go to the Knights. Central back within 1 at 6-5. South with 3 wins in the league, trying to hold on to position, stay out of the play-in scenario. Central trying for a win that, with the right combination of results down the road, could get them to host a play-in or perhaps get out of it altogether. Swing by Monica Egermont is into the net. An error by the Bruins. And the Knights have tied it up at 6. Sydney Tollefson back to serve for Grand Forks Central. Chelland makes the pass. So work to the outside, and we'll see a change by Bockel going to her left hand to get to that. A tip across by Sophie Johnson. And we'll see another play by Bockel from the outside. This time better swing, but it's long. And the point will go to the Bruins. South slowing down with some of their hitting. And that's led to Grand Forks Central taking a 7-6 lead. The accuracy just hasn't been there on the last couple of swings for Fargo South. Up front, long reach to get back to that ball for Monica Egermont. Central with it, tipped down the line by Euler. Chelland got there to dig it up. A transition play across coming from Balvich on second contact. Free ball over from Alexandra Gowan for South. Up front, Bockel having to tipping in. Kohlmeyer getting the ball. Comes back near side. Euler swinging and scoring. Got off the net, and Marley Euler will come up with a kill. Central goes up 2 by a score of 8-6. Serve on the way from Tollefson. This will be an error. 4th service error of the night for Grand Forks Central. And it's 8-7. The Knights lead cut back to 1 after 15 rallies. Scoreboard updates brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org. Call 780-5000. Bockel now in the back row for Fargo South and serving. Euler gets through and scores. Good swing for Marley Euler coming across. Euler has her third. The American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. You're going to see a great swing here from Marla Euler. She was standing about on the attack line, actually behind it when she made that swing, and came up with a great line drive going down the floor to pick that one up for Grand Forks Central. Knights lead by 2 at 9-7. Short serve that lets off the net. Bockel got to it. And we'll see the play coming across off the far side from Talon Hofford. Back to Euler. She'll score again. And now it's Marla Euler heating up from the outside for the Knights. Reardon's position on the bench again for Central. And yet the Knights are making a little bit of a run here, trying to pull themselves back in front. They lead by 3 in the second set of 10-7. Ruby Holly, the pass for South. Egermont swinging through a block and scoring. Monica Egermont with her second kill tonight. It's a good player that Fargo South has for the future. When you've got 6'1", sophomore, and it's not just 6'1", there's physicality in that 6'1" frame. Egermont's going to be a good player going forward for Fargo South. Central returning serve, tip across from Euler, and a pinball that leads to Holly going across the center line. And we'll see the point go to Grand Forks Central. Ruby Holly sliding after the ball, ends up violating the center line underneath the net. And Central will take a 3-point lead at 11-8. And this will allow J.C. Reardon to come back into the matchup for Grand Forks Central. So Reardon back in, and Marla Euler to the back row to serve for the Knights. Holly stepping into the play. They'll set middle. Hoffert getting around traffic and scoring. 3 kills, 3 blocks for Talon Hoffert tonight. A nice night at the net for her in her front row rotation. And South's lead, rather deficit, is cut to 2 at 11-9. And we'll see Ruby Holly stepping back to serve again. Holly on the way, ace. Boy, she's had a big night. Ruby Holly with her 3rd ace tonight. And we're going to see a whistle. Central's going to make a change defensively, it would appear. The Knights will send Nora Presting into the matchup. A defensive specialist, backup libero, 5'4" freshman. They need some help with the back row. Marla Euler going to take a seat. And Central again struggling to return serve. Another ace for Ruby Holly. Just a receive error for Grand Forks Central. That time it was Julia Bybee in the back row. And that bit of a run from Holly, finding a weakness in serve receive for Central, pulls the Bruins back to even in the second set. It's 11 apiece, and now it's 12-11. Another by Ruby Holly. And Darwin Kasperitz needs a timeout. Timeout going to be taken by Grand Forks Central as they need a pass. Now it's Fargo South with a 1-point lead. It's 12-11 in favor of the Bruins. On our Ultra scoreboard, we have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and for Apex Apparel. This is your coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. South coming back to take a 12-11 lead in the second set on our all-true scoreboard. They took the opening set 25-19 tonight. Ruby Holly has served up 3 consecutive aces for Fargo South. Central takes the timeout looking for a pass. Holly serving again and scoring again with another ace. Darwin Kasperitz, the head coach of Central, trying to coach that back row up, but this has got to be frustrating right now. Watching his players just be unable to come up with a pass against Ruby Holly serves for Fargo South. This time they get a pass, but the set-off line into the net. Setting error that time. Point goes to South again. 14-11, the Bruins now by 3. Trying to run a good play to the right side, which is what they would have called up. Probably Alexandra Gowan, the target. And now South knows where the play was supposed to go as well. This time Holly takes something off. They'll go to Reardon in the middle, will Central. Holly able to dig it up. Chellen from the outside is blocked, and that's down. Block for Alexandra Gowan up front. We mentioned Gowan in the pregame report, 9 blocks in spot time this year for Grand Forks Central. She's a young player, but showing some promise. A 5'10 middle freshman, and she's finding her way across the middle of the net. That'll put her in double figures in blocks on the season. Piper Severson will step back and serve for Grand Forks Central. Holly makes the pass for the Bruins. Back set right pin. Hoffert, big physical swing for Talbot Hoffert. Wow. That is a bruising swing for Talbot Hoffert for her 4th kill tonight. Watch this again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is as crisp a side out as you're going to get in high school volleyball. Set right to the back right pin, and just a good swing and score that time from Grand Forks Central. And, or I should say rather from Fargo South, and the Bruins take a 3-point lead on it. A swing by Sydney Tollefson. Top pass. Hoppert able to run it down back row. Chellen sends it over on a free ball for Fargo South. To the outside, Reardon has to reach back for it. The set not there. Point goes to the Bruins. They're up 16-12 in the second. Waiting to see if Central was going to use another timeout. It looked like Darwin Kasperitz might have been thinking about it. Serve on the way from Hopper. It's a let serve. A dive kept it afloat for Olmsted. Tollefson swings away. Holly was there for it. Bockel from the outside. A big dig that put it into the net. Bockel's going to get a kill. Been a while since she scored, but right now she's got 7 kills in the matchup for Fargo South. Their leader at 335 kills on the season. And the Bruins kind of unsuspectingly have taken a 5-point leader in the second set. It'll be 4 now as they commit their 3rd service error. But you look at the scoreboard, you thought you had some even volleyball going on. All of a sudden the Bruins are up 17-12, now 13. Brooklyn Strom will come back into the matchup for the Knights. Strom will serve, take the setting responsibilities here. Holly makes the pass, this stays back row. Chellen has to save it back to the net. And Central trying to make a play. Up front, Reardon blocked. One-handed block for Natalie Schultz, who's got her 2nd block tonight. Boy, that's a big play for Natalie Schultz up front to be able to do something like that. Schultz going at it with just the left hand against J.C. Reardon, one of the better hitters that you're going to find in the league. And Schultz goes up and blocks it with just the left hand for the Bruins. Chellen back to serve for Fargo South, and we'll have an overlap call against Central. That'll make it 19-13. Boy, that is odd for our R1 to call overlap on the receiving team. Under normal circumstances, your R2 has the responsibility for overlap on the receiving team. R1 has the responsibility for overlap on the serving team. But Tom Stokey, our R1, found something that wasn't right in Grand Forks Central's serve-receive formation and whistled the overlap. Near side, we'll see a tip from Sydney Tollefson. South ready. Bockel through traffic will score. 8 for Abby Bockel. The lead is 7 for the Bruins at 20-13. Boy, time running out for Grand Forks Central. About to go down 2-0 in the match if they can't make a big comeback, and down 2-0. Long road back from that. Chellen will commit another service error. Go back a couple of moments ago on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Watch this block for Fargo South that comes up front from Schultz. Just one-handed up front. Schultz gets that one by herself for Fargo South. 20-14, the lead is 6. Grand Forks Central down by that margin. South leading a set to none. Big lead in the second. Bockel from the outside. Severson able to make a dig. Strom on second contact, tipping. A step up for Schultz making contact, and Bockel will tip. Strom out of the middle, making contact with it. And Marley Euler going long on an attack. An error by Euler. 21-14. Grand Forks Central down by 7. And it doesn't appear that the Knights are going to mess around with using another timeout in this sequence. 21-14 your score. Serve on the way from Chellen for Fargo South. Severson turns into the pass. Tollefson will tip. Bachel's there, comes back to her from the outside. Another score for Abby Backel. 9 kills for Abby Backel. She and Talon Hofford have taken over the match, and you would expect something like that. Hofford 4 kills, 3 blocks. Abby Backel with 9 kills. And they've got enough offense from the periphery, like we talked about in the pregame. Marcella Chellin 2 kills, Monica Egermont 2, just enough to keep you guessing. And it's gone true to form for Fargo South after that 7-point run for Central to start the match tonight. That's about the only part of the match that hasn't gone the way South would intend it to. Here's a tip up front for Nora Balvich for her first kill. 23-14. Grand Forks Central down 9. Central head coach Darwin Kasparitz looks to be changing up the lineup for set 3. He's dealing with that situation right now. And a serve on the way for Chellin. Taken off the near side by Euler. She wants it back from the outside. Got through a block and scored it. Marley Euler with 5 kills on the night. Cuts the lead to 8 at 23-15. And we'll see Sydney Tollefson going back to do the serving for Grand Forks Central. So Tollefson will go back. Knights need a big run. They'll get one here. Tollefson will serve up an ace. So Tollefson comes up with an ace, trying to find a little run here for Grand Forks Central. Another serve coming from Tollefson. This will be sent back over by Sophie Johnson, rather not by Sophie, by Barnacle. Off to the right, Sophie Johnson pushes it into the net. And the Bruins now have set point. So the Bruins now have a set point, leading by a score of 24-16. Our intermission report on the way. We'll take a look at a couple of additional highlights that we have in this one tonight, so stay with us for it. Serve on the way from Fargo South. Central trying to respond. They'll tip it through the middle. South with it. Hofford on the right side, actually from the outside, swinging away and scoring. Talon Hopper with her 5th kill tonight, and it's 25-16. Fargo South the commanding win in the second set to lead 2-0 in our matchup here tonight. So the Bruins will take a commanding 2-0 lead in the matchup here tonight as we go to our intermission report. Our intermission report tonight brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We've got more on the way in a couple of moments. We invite you to stay with us for our coverage of high school volleyball. That intermission report with highlights next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports Intermission tonight, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We'll take a look at our plays our highlights for the second half with our American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replays. Get started with Holly doing things early. Grand Forks Central struggling with serve, receive, and a block of the net by Talon Hofford after another aggressive serve from Fargo South. That one from Ruby Holly. Here a situation again. Grand Forks Central trying to find a swing. Marley Euler makes good on a broken play after Central didn't get the greatest pass there. But we see coming back, Grand Forks Central down by 2 in the middle of the matchup. This is where South began to take over from the outside. Talon Hofford just banging away, actually from the right side. My apologies. And then South again coming up with a big block up front. Natalie Schultz getting up and putting that one away for Grand Forks Central, or rather for Fargo South. And you start to see where the Bruins have a bit of an advantage in this situation. A lot of weapons up front that they can do some damage with. And they flex them tonight. 9 kills for Abby Bockel. 3 blocks, 5 kills for Talon Hofford tonight. Grand Forks Central led by Marley Euler and J.C. Reardon, each with 5 kills. A block for J.C. Reardon as well. Third set begins with South serving, and it's a service error. Bruins have committed 5 tonight. And again, it's one of those situations where head coach Peyton Wegleitner not going to be happy with it, but not going to be frustrated either. She wants her team serving aggressively. That's clearly been the game plan tonight. Just from the fact that Central has really struggled to return serve. Rowan Olmstead taking something off. Ruby Holly there. Talon Hofford puts one down. Starts with Talon Hofford coming up with her 6th kill tonight. The Knights have just struggled in serve receive. They've struggled getting a pass that you're looking for. It's led to really long droughts, and one of those reasons, Ruby Holly, a half dozen aces, and she's back to serve for Fargo South. Severson gets a good pass on this. Olmstead setting out to Reardon on the outside, too strong. Point to the Bruins will make it 2-1 South. See if we see any changes here as far as the rotation is concerned. It looks like the change in lineup here is that you're going to see Reardon and Euler playing in the front row together, so Central going to front load a little bit on their offense here. Severson turning into a pass off to the right, little tip off the right side of the floor that's going to score. And actually that is not the case. My apologies. Julia Bybee comes up with a play. That'll allow Central to rotate, and based on the way that I was reading the lineup for Central, I wonder if the Knights didn't get away with an overlap. Euler's now in the front row, and I think they may have. Okay, ball on the right side of the floor. Talon Hofford puts one down for Fargo South. Hofford now has 7. Central was called for an overlap in the last set, and you could see there when Euler took a look over to Coach Darwin Kasperitz and gave him the thumbs up. I think they had kind of figured out their lineup, but I don't think they had it figured out up until that point. 3-2, the Bruins by 1 on the all-true scoreboard. Euler from the attack line. Dug up back row by Hofford. This will come out to the far side. Bockel is down. 10 kills for Abby Bockel tonight. She has been almost automatic. The American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Abby Bockel, just when she has an opportunity from the outside, she can go a lot of different places. That one didn't clear the attack line by much. And you can see what she can do with the ball. She's very confident when she plays that outside pin. They'll come back to Bockel from the attack line. Severson runs it down, free balls it over. A block coming from Schultz. Severson runs down the ball on third contact. Holly will set Bockel with a running start, and that one goes strong. An error by Bockel will make it 4-3. Fargo South leading by 1 here in the third set. And we'll see the return of Sylvia Barnacle into the back row for the Bruins as a defensive specialist. Piper Severson back to serve for Grand Forks Central. Severson served near side. Chelland was able to dig it up. Off to the far side. Bockel gets through the net, and that's when you know you got a night going. Abby Bockel gets the familiar roll off the tape for her 11th kill tonight. Bruins back up 2 by a score of 5-3. Chelland will step back to do the serving. And Chelland puts it into the net. So a service error by the Bruins, their 6th. And Central will make a couple of changes here. The Knights will send Violet Sparks into the matchup. Senior opposite hitter at 5'10". It is senior night They'll get Violet on the floor so she can get some time in this final home matchup on senior night. Brooklyn Strom serving on the attack line. Swing coming from Schultz for Fargo South. Returned by the Knights, and South struggles with it. Play out of the back row from Chellen goes into the bottom of the net, and the Knights will tie up the third set at 5 apiece on the All-True scoreboard. 5-5 your score. And the serve coming from Brooklyn Strom. That's going to be an ace. Brooklyn Strom, a senior, one of our player profile guests that we had on our pregame reports throughout the season. She was a lot of fun to talk to as well. Really, really pleasant young lady. And one of the setters on this team. Nearly serving up another ace, but Holly saves a pinball for Fargo South. Up front, Tollefson going to tip. Bockel coming down, made the play. Now from the outside, she's blocked by Tollefson. It comes back to Central, and Tollefson will free ball one over. To the middle, swing by Schultz. Severson reaches out to get that. Off to the near edge, a tip coming from Marley Euler. Chellen stepped into that. Bockel trying to attack the middle and scores in front of the defense. She's got 12. Abby Bockel makes it 6 apiece, the Bruins and the Knights, here in the third set. Glad to have you along tonight on KNOX Radio, as well as KNOX Live Sports on the video side this evening. An opportunity to come to you on the radio side as well. We're looking forward to football coming up on Friday here on the radio side of things, with the playoffs beginning. Chellen serving for Fargo South, ace serve. Lets off the net, and we see Fargo South's Natalia Chelland. They have Natalia Chelland and Marcella Chelland. Natalia's a senior, Marcella's a sophomore. Marcella gets a lot of time, Natalia for serving purposes here. Bruins leading 7-6. Severson making the pass for Central. Euler from the right pin. This dug up into the rafters, and Euler's gonna get a kill. Marley Euler with 6. 14 rallies into the third. Central fighting even with South, tied at 7 apiece. Grand Forks Central trying to find their way out of that play-in matchup, as we mentioned. Standings coming into the night on the video side. Those of you can see them now. 1-11 for Central. South 3-10. I mean, these two teams separated by just a game and a half. 2 in the win column. But South has had the better of it tonight. Bockel into the net with an error. And the Bruins the Knights take an 8-7 lead in the matchup. And the Bruins will get ready to receive again. Marley Euler with 3 aces. Steps back to serve tonight. Oh, huge serve by Egermont. How about Piper Severson with a dig on that play? That's one of the better ones that you're going to see. Severson digging up Egermont on that play. Bockel gets blocked at the net. Sydney Tollefson comes up with a block for Grand Forks Central. But watch this again of the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. How about Piper Severson on senior night? This is a heck of a swing from Egermont right in the middle of the floor, and Severson digging that up with one hand to get to it. That's an unbelievable play for Severson to make the play. South comes back with the side out while we show you the replay, but Piper Severson, heck of a play tonight for Central. Lead is 1 for the Knights at 9-8. Bockel serving, tough pass for Euler. Severson keeps it afloat. Bybee will send it over. Chellen steps into it. Up front again. Egermont tipping this time through traffic and scoring. Showed the big swing and then came back with a tip. Really nice read for the sophomore at the net. Bruins tie up the third set at 9. Abby Bockel set to serve for Fargo South. And that one will go just beyond the back line. 7th service error tonight for the Bruins. And the Knights take a 10-9, a third set lead. J.C. Reardon back to the front row for Central. Sydney Tollefson will come on to serve, and Tollefson will commit a service error. That'll be 5 for Grand Forks Central tonight. Teams trade service errors, and it is 10-all after 20 rallies. Serve coming from Balvich for Fargo South. Marley Euler in the back row, sent back to the far side of the floor. And Sparks will send that back across. Up front, Hoffert swinging away. Another dig from Severson. She's got a good third set. Swing by Euler, rather from Bybee from the outside, is blocked. Stays on the Grand Forks Central side. They'll send it back over on the right side with Sparts. Off to the right, Egermont swinging away. And a long run to get to that for Strom, but she saved a broken play. And it's back to Fargo South. Hoppard up front, mishitting. Central extends the rally. And it's 11-10 Grand Forks Central. Sometimes when you're the team that is kind of under-weaponed, the best thing you can do is just keep making play after play and force your opponent to keep making play after play. And the opponent once in a while going to struggle that way. Serve dug up errantly by Fargo South. They error in receiving by Abby Bockel. That's about the only part of the game that Bockel has struggled with tonight. She's had a couple of moments where it's been tough to receive serve. Lead back to 2 for Central at 12-10. Rowan Olmstead serving. This time Holly steps in front of Bockel to get 2 at Hofford swinging this hit. And these are the little lulls in the game for Fargo South. This is probably the point in a lot of their EDC matches where against other opponents they fall behind by some numbers that are tough to overcome. They have these moments just here and there where the accuracy on their hitting drops a little bit. Schellen from the outside pushing line. Covered by Euler out of the back row for Central. Sent back across by Bybee. She mishit one wide. Up to a 3-point lead for a moment for the Knights. It's now down to 2. A score of 13-11. Grand Forks Central in the third. The Bruins leading 2-0. Won the first 25-19, the second 25-16. Severson stepping into a pass, no one home. Central doesn't communicate, point goes to the Bruins. Lead cut to 1, a score of 13-12. Central leading. Knights scored the first 7 points of the night. Since then, Fargo South has been on a bit of a tear. Reared and attacking, middle miss hit it wide. And after 26 rallies, we're tied at 13. Long look at things from Darwin Kasperitz on the right side. 13-13 your score. South serving to try to take the lead, and it's Holly again. Severson came up with a pass. Reardon got through contact up front. Schellen from the attack line hits it long. Central will take a 14-13 lead. That wasn't long by much for Schellen, just a bit long. And the Knights back up by 1 here in the third. So a 1-point lead for Grand Forks Central in the third set, trailing 2-0. Bruins passing, Schellen over contact up front. Rowan Olmstead saving a ball, went into the net. Not much you can do about that. The pass to Olmstead, taking her back to the line. She tried to turn her body, but you turn the body, the shoulder goes into the net. You can't really avoid that play. That'll tie things up at 14 each. And the serve from Talon Hofford is on the way. And it's going to be pinballed around by Central. They can't save it. Hofford with an ace. Add to her night. 7 kills, 3 blocks, and an ace for Talon Hofford. The Bruins retake the lead at 15-14. And Hofford serving again. Another hard serve, Severson, good pass. Olmstead setting right side. It's Reardon from the right. First time we've seen her out there tonight. Ball stays back row. Hofford attacking from the back. Severson was there. Outside Euler, that one just missed. Euler swinging from the outside, mishit it. 30 rallies in, and now the Bruins have taken a 2-point lead at 16-14 on the all-true scoreboard. And Talon Hopper will step back to serve for Fargo South, another ace. 17-14, this starting to slip away from Grand Forks Central. Should be seeing our media timeout here at this point, but we haven't seen it as of yet. I don't think they're going to give us the media timeout tonight. Hofford serving. Back row, Severson was there. Reardon from the right pin into the net. 18-14 your score. And a timeout going to be taken by Grand Forks Central, so at least we'll get the timeout. 18-14 your score on the all-true scoreboard. The Bruins now leading by 4, leading 2-0. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and for Apex Apparel. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
Timeout taken by Grand Forks Central. The Knights down by a score of 18-14 here in the third set, down 2-0, losing the first two 25-19 and 25-16. And here's a free ball that's blocked by Bockel for Fargo South. Her first block of the night. She has 12 kills, and the Bruins take a 19-14 lead. Bruins looking for their fourth win in EDC play. If they get it tonight, barring something unexpected, they won't have to worry about playing situations anymore, as the matchups that are left in the conference would definitely favor them. A tip by Central trying to save a broken play ends up wide. Lead up to 6 at 20-14. Talon Hoffert will serve again for South. Central struggling out of their own timeout. Rowan Olmstead to J.C. Reardon. Reardon tipping from the right side. And the Bruins trying to recover. They'll get Bockel on a swing from their outside. Out of the back row, Julia Bybee saves it for Central. Back to the middle. Tip coming from Schultz. Didn't get all of that when the ball was behind her. Up front, Reardon just hammers on one. J.C. Reardon puts down a big ball for Grand Forks Central. 6th kill of the night for J.C. Reardon. And the Knights turn 1 point away, get the side out, and they're back within 5 at 20-15. Piper Severson will serve for Grand Forks Central. Severson ready, and a back pedal on the pass to get to it from Barnacle, sent back over by Fargo South. Near side of the floor, Euler getting off contact. Up front, Bockel was there. They wanted to get her back, couldn't. Schultz will send this over on a free ball. Central playing it, set near side, attack again from Euler. A dive by Holly in the back row, covered, and Bockel tips middle and scores her 13th kill. 21-15. Grand Forks Central now down 6 here in set number 3. Down 2-0. Post-game report tonight will be brought to you by Spray Advantage and by the Ski and Bike Shop. Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The Ski and Bike Shop, keeping you excited, keeping you moving all of the seasons we have in Grand Forks. Alexandra Gowan from the right side for Central. Off to Bockel, who gets blocked at the net. Tollefson and Gowan teaming up for a block, each with 2 blocks tonight. And the lead is cut to 5 for Fargo South at 21-16. And again, stay tuned for our post-game report brought to you by Spring Advantage and the Ski and Bike Shop. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the matchup, go through the numbers, wrap up with our player awards tonight. Brooklyn Strom serving. Holly's there for Fargo South. Back set right side and an error into the net with Schultz trying to charge. Natalie Schultz using the left hand pushes one to the net. Bruins back within 4 at 21-17. I'm sorry, rather the Knights back within 4 at 21-17. Strom serving again, service error. Tough spot for one. 6th error for Grand Forks Central. Lead back to 5 for the Knights at 22-17. And Central will watch Fargo South return Natalia Chelland, who's had a pretty good night serving for Fargo South. Bruins 3 points away from an East Region win. Tipped by Euler off of serve receive. Euler will send one over on a free ball. Barnacle steps into a pass. Up front, Egermont attacking and scoring. Monica Egermont, 4 kills tonight. Has 84 in the season, but again, 6'1" sophomore with the physical frame. She's going to do some damage for Fargo South going forward. 23-17. The Bruins lead by 6, 2 points away from a 3-set sweep tonight here at Central High School. Serve coming from Chelland again on the far side of the floor. Picked up by Euler. This comes out to the outside. Tollefson will attack and score. Sydney Tollefson with her second kill tonight. So Tollefson gets a kill. And Grand Forks Central will be serving. Down by 5 at 23-18. Up front, Bockel trying to tip. Brooklyn Strom dove to cover that play. Turned by Bybee with her back to the net to send it over. Bockel got to it. Egermont got blocked. Tollefson goes up. Sydney Tollefson with her third block tonight. And Tollefson with the block will cut the lead to 4 for the Bruins at 23-19. Central not going away just yet. Serve on the way from Euler. Tough play on receive for South. Chelland will send it over on a free ball. Strom will set near side. Bybee gets through contact and scores. Second kill for Julia Bybee. And we're going to see a timeout taken by Fargo South. The Bruins will call for timeout as Central's grab some momentum back. 23-20, Fargo South by 3. 2 sets to none, your lead for the Bruins. Bruins trying to close out. Central trying to hang on. We're back with more in a couple of moments as we continue our coverage of high school volleyball tonight.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Timeout taken by Fargo South. More of a rah-rah session for Peyton Wigleitner. Just kind of high-fiving, dapping up some of the players, trying to get them back into the swing of things. Bockel from the outside, swinging away. Dug up by Piper Severson. Tollefson turning into a play. Sent one back towards the middle. Back to Bockel from the outside, got off a touch. And Severson steps into that play. A tip by Bybee comes up short. And that's going to bring up a match point opportunity for Fargo South. So the Bruins will have match point. Bruins 24-20 lead. And looking to finish things off as Bockel will step back to do the serving. Tollefson on the right side, pushing deep. Chelland, tough play on the ball, it went back. Chelland with her back to the net from the attack line, sending one over. Central up the middle, Tollefson attacking. Tough dig, and South trying to save a free ball. They can't do it. Tollefson comes up with her third kill. Good to see some action here for Sydney Tollefson. One of the unheralded players out there for Grand Forks Central. And the serve coming from Tollefson. Lead cut to 3, still match point for the Bruins. And a block on Hoffert's attack at the net. Egermont will tip over on second contact. Reardon attacking. Holly got a dig on it. Tip comes back from Hoffert. This time Tollefson covers, and Bybee will send one to the middle. Hoffert leaving this back row for Bockel. Bockel an attack. Dug deep in the back row by Euler. Central saves a free ball. Hoffert making the play. Egermont swinging away. Another dig, this time from Euler. From the attack line, it's Bobby that will send one back to the back row of South. Hoffert from the outside, long. Central wins a spirited rally. Lead cut to 2 at 24-22. And Tollefson will step off the floor for Nora Presting. Presting comes in for Grand Forks Central. The Knights get one more, it becomes interesting. Presting serving. Serves the middle. Chelland able to make the pass. Set to the outside. Hopper trying to put it away and does. Talon Hopper steps in for her 8th kill tonight. And that'll do it for this one this evening here at Central High School. Your final score this evening on the All True scoreboard will be Fargo South 3, Grand Forks Central nothing. 25-19, 25-16, 25-22. Post-game report brought to you by Spring Advantage, and the Ski and Bike Shop is on the way next. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
This is the KNOX post-game show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports this evening. We come to you from Central High School, where the Knights are defeated by the Fargo South Bruins by a final score of 3-0 this evening. 25-19, 25-16, 25-22. Our post-game report brought to you tonight by the Ski and Bike Shop. They want to keep you moving and keep you excited all seasons of the year at the Ski and Bike Shop. Whether you're getting fitted out for boots, whether you're looking for a snowboard or skis, and of course getting ready for next year with those Trek bicycles that are just the best in the business. The Ski and Bike Shop has you covered. Great service, great parts to get it moving again at the Ski and Bike Shop. And our post-game report this evening brought to you as well by our friends at Spring Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The difference between Spring Advantage and their competitors is that Spring Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spring Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. Well, Grand Forks Central starts off smoking tonight, takes the first 7 points of the night this evening. And then Fargo South made this one go according to their absolute game plan as they win it tonight by a final score of 3-0, 25-19, 25-16, and 25-22. Let's run through the highlights that we have for tonight. Our American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replays of the night. A swing there for Hoppert in the middle of the floor. Actually, Talon Hopper, when she got to the front row and started doing some things tonight for Fargo South late in that opening set, that's when Fargo South really became a tough team to deal with. And then Ruby Holly serving extremely well tonight. Serves up an ace there for Fargo South in the opening set. Grand Forks Central trying to fight back in that opening set and find their legs nerves a little bit. J.C. Reardon had a good start, and then Molly Euler, that's J.C. Reardon, that comes up with a play. She hit from the outside exclusively, but Central drops that opening set by a score of 25-19. More, Ruby Holly serving, a pass floats over the net, blocked again up front by Hofford. Then later, you'd see more solid serving from Fargo South. Central really struggled to receive serve tonight, but here Marley Euler gets a swing going right through the middle for Grand Forks Central. But you'd see the Fargo South Bruins really close out the second set strongly here tonight. This time they go to the outside, a big swing down the floor by Talon Hofford, from the right rather, and then later you'd see Monica Egremont, their 6'1" sophomore, coming with a block against J.C. Reardon, just one hand into that as well, and her big play there helped spark
on the
second set going the way of Fargo South.
Line.
And then as we get back to the third, Hofford, big night tonight for Abby Bockel. There's a bruising play across the floor. 10 kill to start off the third set tonight. Bockel comes up with a big night with 13 kills this evening for Fargo South, and the Knights are beaten by a score of 3-0. That's your post-game summary tonight. It's brought to you by Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying and application on your farm, and brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop, where they're ready to keep you moving all season long. Let's go to our player awards tonight. We'll start with our PS Garage Doors Player of the Game Award this evening, and it's brought to you by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. PS Garage Doors has you covered for service on any make and model of garage door that you have. They can come to your location if you're in agriculture, widen the door frame on what it is that you have in case your barn hasn't kept up with the implements that are out there, and then install the right garage door. They'll take care of all the work themselves. And again, what a great opportunity for you to put the experts in charge of what it is that you need with PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. For Grand Forks Central tonight, Player of the Game Award this evening, well, it's got to go to J.C. Reardon. Reardon with 6 kills and a block this evening, also an ace for Grand Forks Central. Reardon just a steady Eddie all this season for Grand Forks Central, and Reardon will come up with the Player of the Game Award here tonight for Grand Forks Central. Our final award tonight for a player award is the Finest Auto Trim Finest Cover of the Game, and it's brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializes in recovery of vehicle and marine seats, and if you've got a boat that's seen some really tough seasons the last couple of years and want to get that ready when it's time to go back out in the water next year, take it to Finest Auto Trim and let them recover those boats for you. Also, things that you need to cover to keep them safe from the elements outside, things like AC units, power generators. If you have a boat or a camper, something that you're going to store outside, they can custom make the cover so that it stays safe from all the elements throughout the winter at Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. We're going to split that award up tonight. Sydney Tollefson had 3 blocks this evening. She came on strong late for Central. Also in that third set, you saw an unbelievable dig in that third set for Rowan Olmstead, or actually rather Piper Severson, that kept the play going. So I'm going to split it tonight between senior Sydney Tollefson and Piper Severson, who both made some tremendous plays in that third set for Grand Forks Central tonight. And Sydney Tollefson, Piper Severson will split that award. Compliments of Finest Auto Trim. Boy, that's it for video, barring something unforeseen. On the radio side, Friday night, playoff football, Devil's Lake, and Grand Forks Central is where we hope to be at Roller Field out in Devil's Lake. But on the video side, we've got to wait till we start hockey, basketball, wrestling, all of that coming up this winter, unless there's a couple of upsets that bring football teams back to Grand Forks. So stay tuned for further broadcast details, but again on the radio side, coming up for you on, I believe it will be Friday night. Yes, Friday night. And by the way, that game out in Devil's Lake is scheduled for a 6 o'clock kickoff. Okay, that's a 6 o'clock kickoff coming up in Devil's Lake. That would be on Friday night. So get ready for that one coming up out there. And good luck to all the teams in the postseason. Also, I did not see a score tonight on what was going on this evening between Grand Forks, Red River. I'm sorry, East Grand Forks. My apologies. East Grand Forks and Wadena. But East Grand Forks having a great volleyball run at the end of the season here, and they were up against Wadena trying to work their way into a section championship matchup. And so if they're able to do that tonight, then we'd have an opportunity to bring you some volleyball for them coming up on Saturday. So we'd hope that we'd be able to bring you a championship matchup, but good luck going out to that team coming up this evening as well. That's going to do it for our coverage of high school volleyball this evening. We thank you for joining us for this matchup tonight. We're going to rejoin regular programming with our nighttime program. Rich Valdez will join us in a couple of moments. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.